So that's about me. Let me introduce you to my splendid and much smarter business partner, Tamara. And we're going to dive right into today's training.
Well, thank you. I don't know that I'm the smarter one, but two halves make a whole. So I've also been in this business for 20 years. Listings have pretty much been the bread and butter of my business. That's pretty much what I have done. I was in short sales and really dominated that field. Belladonna and I have been working together for the majority of our careers. We've kind of been together. October. I know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share what we have in store for you guys today. And we're happy that you all tuned in.
Hey, so we're going to be covering 3 topics today as it relates to generating new business. Okay. So really quick, I know Martin put up a poll. This really helps us kind of key in where you guys are at and what kind of training is going to best serve you. So if you'll let us know if you're an agent who's currently taking listings primarily with for sale by owners and expireds, let us know roughly where you're at in that process. Like, are you a seasoned vet? Have you done, let me look, like 10 to 15 of those or 15 plus? And I mean, that's where you've taken the listing, right? You've went out, you got the listing, you took the listing, and hopefully you sold it. Or let us know if you've never done it or if you're somewhere in between, right? So I think there's none, hey, I've closed 1 to 5 FSBO expired listings, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, or 15 plus. It just really helps us out. Also, guys, we've got the chat open. We're super informal. Unmute, jump in, ask questions, and put your questions in and answers in the chat as well, because we keep a really close eye on it, right? So Tamara, you want to take it today with, let's talk a little bit. So we're going to be covering 3 things, guys. Goals. How many of these contacts or calls should you be making a day in order to hit your goals? Then we're going to be talking a little bit about accountability. And then we're going to talk about the last part of accountability, which is my specialty. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because when we get to that part, that is definitely where this is going to get really funny. Okay, so Tamara, you want to take it away, because you are one of the best people I know in the industry at helping agents set correct goals.
Oh, well, thank you. It's one of those things that I always track. And let's talk about how we decide what our goals should be. Well, it kind of really factors into how many deals do you want to do per year? How much money do you want to make? And do we set those goals to where we think, okay, that's too far out of reach, I'll never make that? Well, the fact of the matter is this: if you don't set them, then there's nothing to reach. There's no amount of money. You can't gauge your business. So where is it that is a good number for you? How many deals do you want to do? If you're brand new in the business, how many deals do you want to do? I know when I first got in business, my goal was, I just need to close a deal a month. Brand new in the business, a deal a month. I closed my first deal 3 weeks after I got my license. And it was a listing that I took from a convenience store clerk. So it's called, you just have to have goals, and then you have to have a schedule to reach those goals. That's the pure ticket right there. If it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. Therefore, you can't reach your goal. So let's talk numbers. So Belladonna, if you're a brand new agent, brand new to the business, how many goals should they be setting?
So I would say the very, very first goal as a business owner that you have to set is how much revenue are you going to generate for the next 12-month period? Now, guys, revenue is before profit, right? Or before expenses, profit is after expenses. So let's just keep this really simple. What's your revenue goal? Oh, great. I got the poll quizzes. Okay, so we've got
Awesome. Got a few.
53%, and then we got 12% or 10 to 15, and 6% or 15 plus. I am so, for the people that are brand new, this is going to help you so much. For my people on here that are 10 and above, you guys, if you want to up your goals or up your numbers, you are so on the right call today. So this, I promise, this is going to be so good for everybody. Quick housekeeping. Guys, do me a favor and turn on your cameras. I mean, unless you're like taking a shower. Turn on your camera for us. It makes it so much more interactive if we can actually see who we're talking to. And number two, throw your goal in the chat for us, because I would love to know. I don't care if it's a revenue goal or a transaction goal for 2024. If we're sitting here, end of the year 2024, where do you want to be? So I would say and thank you. Is it Mickey or Mikey? Thank you, dude, for turning on your camera. That right on. See, it's so much more fun. That's right, when we can see you. Okay. Every business needs to know, how much revenue am I going to bring in? Okay, so I'd say set your revenue goal, and then I need you to do some basic math. Okay, if you're brand new and you don't know, you're going to do Obi, right on, 5 transactions a month. I love that goal. If you're not sure what how many transactions you need to close in order to hit your revenue goal, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to take how much you want to make. You're going to divide that by the average commission that you earn. So if you're already in production, you're going to know your average commission. Okay. If you're brand new in the business, let's just use 10K as an average commission. You can go lower if you want, but the National Association says, you know, somewhere between 7 and 10K is the average. I just like 10 because I can do easy math. Okay. So if your goal is 100,000 a year and you use 10K as an average commission, you'd have to close 10 deals. Does that make sense to hit your $100,000 revenue goal? Now, I'm going to tell every single person on this call, guys, I'm super opinionated. Please forgive me in advance. If you are a full-time real estate agent and your goal is $100,000, I am not going to, 10 deals a year is still too low of a goal. If you're full-time and you have 30 bloody days to find one person that needs to buy or sell a house, that means you should be doing at least 12 deals a year. Okay. So I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. Okay. So we've got some awesome goals in here. So Tony is 10 to 15. I'm going to assume Tony, 10 to 15 deals a year. Penny, 2 to 5 a month. Okay. So Penny, I'm going to say, tighten that up for me, baby. What is it? You could split the difference and say 3, but I want your minimum. I have to do this goal and I'm going to do whatever it takes to hit it. Okay. Awesome. Awesome goal. Celicia, 23 million in volume. Nicely done, my dear. I would like to know what marketplace you're in. My guess is you probably you or either hustling or you are still hustling and you have a real nice sale price point in your location. Okay, well, DC, that makes a ton of sense. Nicely done. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Once you've got the number of transactions that you need to close to hit your goal, okay, I want you to, so number of transactions for the year, okay, we're going to divide by 220. Oh, forgive me, I missed a step. I need you guys to guess here. Here's where you're going to guess. How many people do you have to talk to get a deal, right? How many contacts do you need to make to get a deal? So do you need to talk to 20 for sale by owners to land one listing? 40, 50, 5, 10, whatever it is, okay? And you're going to figure out what that number is for the whole year. So if I need to talk to 10, and then you're like, how do I get my 1 year number? Here, let's just say I need to talk to 10 FSBOs to land 1 listing, hypothetically. I want you to take the number of people you need to talk to in a day and multiply it by 220. Why? Because the average full-time person will work 220 days in the whole year. That means that's actually, guys, Monday through Friday. It's not counting weekends. It's not counting holidays. And it even accounts for taking a vacation. Okay. So 220 working days of the year. So if you need to talk to, 10 people a day, multiply it by 220, that tells you how many total people you need to talk to in the year, right? So once we figured out what your daily number of contacts is, okay, for the day, in order to hit that goal, now we kind of know where you should set your daily goal at. Does that make sense, you guys? I know I said it kind of backwards initially, but let me ask it this way. Is anybody unclear on how to figure out how many people do they need to talk to each day, Monday through Friday, in order to hit their goal? Everybody good? Okay, cool. If you're not, it's okay. Like, speak up, unmute, or drop a question in the chat, because I want to make sure everybody's good on this. But it's pretty straightforward, right? Okay, and let me flip back so I have my little list of what we're covering today. Okay, so let's talk about accountability. Tamara, have you ever said you were going to talk to so many people a day and then you never get around to it? Anybody here done that?
Unfortunately, yes. I've done that. I've done it.
Anybody here creatively procrastinate? Well, I'm working on my social media. I'm working on my website. I'm working on my open house flyer. I'm working on my whatever. I'm just all the stuff that makes us feel like we're working in our business. But really what we're doing is finding a way to rationalize why we're not calling our leads. Anybody? Yeah. I am like a Jedi Knight at doing this, okay? I'm so good at it. And so let me preface this also. Number of contacts you have to make per day. I don't care who you're talking to, and I don't care how you're getting their information. Okay, so it could be FSBOs, expireds. Maybe you got a list from a service that gives you geographically a list of all the people in a zip code. Maybe it's inbound warm leads from a Facebook ad or Google pay-per-click ad. Maybe it's just warm leads coming in from your organic social media efforts. I don't care where the lead came from. All I care is that you're setting a goal to talk to a certain number of people per day. So I don't care if it's a warm call, what's the definition of a warm call? The lead reached out to you and now you're calling them back, right? Or if it's a cold call, being they have not reached out to you and you are just calling them out of the blue, right? Doesn't matter. Here's what I know. If you want to hit your goals, you have to talk to X amount of people per day in order to meet those goals. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me on that? Okay. It's like the law of the universe. Until we talk to somebody, people are like, what about text? What about DMs? They count. But if it's two-way communication, right? So if you're texting a FSBO or a lead off your website and they text you back, that counts as a contact. If you're messaging them over Instagram or Facebook and they message you back, that counts as a contact. Okay, guys? Like, so don't, if you're knocking on the door and they open the door and they slam it in your face, that counts as a contact. If you call a FSBO and it's the wrong number and you say, hey, sorry about that. You know, this is going to be kind of crazy. But, and again, my name's Belladonna with ABC Realty. By any chance, you wouldn't happen to be looking to buy or sell a home in the next 6 months, would you? That's a contact. Okay. Even though it was a wrong number. Let me give you another example. You're calling a FSBO and they're like, are you an agent? Yes, I am. Click. That's a contact. Okay. They answered the phone and you had two-way communication. It counts as a contact. So I'm real liberal on what a contact is. Okay. Everybody good on what constitutes a contact? Okay. But we're our own worst enemy. So accountability is how I protect myself from me, because I don't like calling leads, guys. It's been 20 years. I still don't wake up and excited and bang, go, yeah, I get to call leads today. I'm usually like, all right, here we go.
Shake it out.
Right.
Or we have that morning phone call. How many calls you doing today? I'm doing 20. I'm going for 20. Okay. And we hit our calls. And at the end of the day, you're like, did you make 20?
You're like, no, I only made 10. Why? Well, the cat threw up. The cat threw up. Of course, I couldn't finish making my calls. I had to go clean that up, you know?
And it took the whole rest of the day.
Yeah. And then I was out of my jam. And then you couldn't possibly have me finish my calls after the cat threw up. Okay. So accountability is pressure that we put on ourselves to make sure we do the things we have to do in order to hit our goals. Guys, do you have built-in accountability as somebody's employee? So if most of us were employees before we became real estate agents, were you accountable to show up to your old job every day? Yeah? Did you have to show up on time? First of all, did you have to show up at a certain time, or could you show up whenever the hell you felt like it? You had to show up on a schedule. If you showed up late, was there a penalty to you? Was there a problem if you just showed up late for work? Yeah, you guys would get fired if you showed up late too much. What happened if you didn't show up at all? Like, yeah. Pull that 20 times. You get fired. Okay. We all had built in harsh accountability when we were employees. And then, yeah. Oh my gosh. Leisha was a cop. Yeah. But
and she had roll call.
Okay. You had to go to roll call. Yeah. If you were a soldier, you had to go to first formation at 5 a.m. We're putting accountability in place for ourselves. So I cannot encourage you highly enough. You must have, and you desperately need 1 to 2 to 3 accountability partners. Now, who should you never use as an accountability partner? Tamara, who sucks? Husband. Guys, don't use your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Don't use friends and family. It always blows up in your face. Well,
because they'll let you off. They will always let you off the hook.
It's the truth. Always. Or they start nagging you. And it's not nagging. You ask them to help you, and then it just feels like they're nagging you. And nobody wants to feel that way. And then it gets weird. It just gets weird. You need somebody else in the industry, and best if you're accountable to each other. So it's two-way accountability, right? Okay, so guys, now I'm going to talk a little bit about, well, first, before Tamara, anything else on that you'd like to add?
Well, I just have one thing to drop on that. And on the basis of why be accountable, well, go back to whether or not you would hire yourself. Okay. And if you can say, no, I definitely wouldn't hire me, then think of accountability as you're the business owner. You are, you're the CEO of your own business. So if you're not out there doing what you need to do in order to create the revenue that you want to make each and every year, then who's gonna, keep your business afloat? Who's going to run things? So the whole point of accountability with ourselves is to go, okay, if I'm going to keep floating this ship across the ocean here, then I need to make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing in order to stay afloat. Otherwise, somebody's pulling the plug and I'm sinking. That's just the way it works, because if you don't stay, if you don't stay keeping yourself going, okay, I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And at the end of the day, I've got to report back to this person to go, yep, I held myself up to what I told you I was going to do, and here's what I did. And if you can't do that, then you just sunk your ship.
And here's the irony. Here's the irony. If you are not accountable in your own business and your business fails, which, let's just be honest, 90% of agents fail. 90%. That's in the first 2 years. Another 80% don't make it 5 years, guys. The failure rate is spectacularly high. Why? Because we have no accountability to anybody. And then when we fail in real estate and we go out and get a job, guess what? We become accountable again to somebody else for way less money. Okay, so I think we've beat that dead horse. Now, what makes accountability work? Oh my God, it's my favorite topic, guys. Okay, my first day with a real estate license, I went to work for a real estate company that I ended up becoming the managing broker for, and then the COO for almost my whole career. They were psychos. I went to work for a company that was insane, and I didn't know it at the time. I thought this is what real estate agents did. We had insane accountability, right? If you set your accountability and then you had a partner and you didn't do it, you had to pay a price, and the price was up to you. But it was like vaudeville. We had people doing the most insane stuff if they didn't meet their accountability, or they would be writing big checks or little checks, because money hurts too. But here's what we found: the more successful somebody got, we almost had to make the accountability non-monetary, because they could afford to write a check. So we had to hit them where it really hurt, right in the ego. Right. So let me give you some examples, and let me tell you what I am personally doing. And if you guys keep hanging out with us over time, you keep coming to these calls, it's only a matter of time before you see it actually happen. So Tamara and we call for sale by owners and expireds, but I have been totally screwing off. Okay. I caught COVID. I've been sick for a month. I totally got out of my groove. And now I'm like, oh, I haven't been on a schedule for a month. And I'm like, I had this conversation this morning, and I've already announced it to all of my agents. So I can't even back out. All I've said is I will start the day when I feel, because I'm not 100%, like no later than probably November 15th. I just need to make sure I'm well enough that I can actually do it, right? I am going to announce my accountability to all of my agents. I have 80 agents, guys. Once a week, we do a mastermind, kind of like this, but where we just help our agents get into production, right? I am going to set a number of contacts that I must make daily, Monday through Friday. Now, I can't lie about it because I use Martin's system to do it, and it tracks the production. At our weekly masterminds, I'm going to print my week's worth of contacts. And if I haven't hit what I said I was going to be accountable to at the weekly meeting, I am going to do something utterly embarrassing and stupid. And we're going to stream it live to all my social media platforms. and we're going to have a recording, and there's going to be a playlist on my YouTube channel of me getting look at Tony laughing. If you guys see Tony Spackman laughing, he's one of my agents. That's because this is the first time Tony's heard this. We're going to have a playlist of me getting my ass kicked because I didn't.
That makes two of us because we're in this together because so everyone knows, Belladonna and I are accountability partners. We're business partners as well. So who best to be accountable to than my business partner?
Yeah, but I went broad and I'm accountable to all 80 of my agents. And I've already picked out my first 3 punishments if I don't hit my accountability. So number 1 is outside my office here, we have this really big, nice meeting area, right? With a big kitchen, and it's a cool meeting area. Accountability number 1. You guys, you can't see it, but I have really long hair. Okay. If I don't hit my numbers, I will, on my own dime, I will have to go down to like whatever and buy, they'll probably all be cream pies too. I'm going to go buy whatever, like it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 10 pies. And we're going to lay out a drop cloth, like for painting. And all of my agents, we're going to set up cameras. We're going to stream it. And all my agents get to hit me with pies. That's going to be my first accountability if I don't hit my numbers. Tony is dying. He's like, I am so throwing a pie at you, Belladonna. My second accountability. Now it's Utah. You guys, I don't know. Can you see that there's already snow on the mountains outside my office window? It's freaking cold in Utah. My second, now, how's it work? Every week I have to hit my numbers or I get hit in the face with pies. Once that happens, I have to set a new accountability, don't I, right? So my second accountability will be, now by then it's going to be winter. It's going to be cold as shit. I will, I'm not going to wear a bikini, okay? Because I'm 54 and nobody wants to see that. But I will put on like a t-shirt and shorts in the middle of freaking Utah winter. And I'm going to climb in the back of a pickup truck and I'm going to go through a car wash. And we're going to stream that live. We're going to have a camera in the back of the truck and we're going to have another car follow the truck through. So we have double video. And I'm going to go through a car wash sitting in the bed of a pickup truck. That's my second accountability. And then, okay, now the third accountability, Tamara's dying. She is so hoping that this happens. My third accountability, guys, I don't know if you've seen the video. Do yourself a favor. I laughed so hard. I thought I was going to throw up because I had COVID and laughing so hard made me start coughing. And I had I had like abdominal cramps from laughing so hard. This is a real thing that a brother and sister did to each other. And it's going to be my third accountability.
And it's on TikTok. You have to look for it.
And it's also on Instagram. It's on Instagram. And I will find the link for you guys. Oh my God, I have it. Okay, guys, if I can find the link, Martin, I'll drop it in here. I told my husband to send it to me. It was a brother and sister, and they bought one of those dog collars that shocks the hell out of you and it has a remote control, so you can hit the thing and it shocks them. So they put a dog collar on and they're in their car and they're going through a drive-through and they have to order a drive-through meal. While the other person in the passenger seat, they're trying to order and the other person is shocking them. And they don't know when they're going to get shocked. So they're like, hi, I'd like to have it. You know?
I'm holding the remote.
So my third accountability will be, I will get a dog collar. And then to add insult to injury, I have to go buy it with my own money. Tamara will be the one shocking me, and I'm going to put 2 of my agents in the back seat, and we're going to film the whole thing. I will go through the drive-through and try to order while Tamara randomly shocks me with like a choke collar. So that's personally what I'm doing. And I up the ante, right? Because I'm going to stream all this crap to all of my social media platforms. So,
But what's the point of doing all of these extravagant things? That's what everyone's going, why, what's the purpose of all of this? Well, you don't want to do something that's dangerous that you could get hurt. You want to do something that is gonna, ding your ego just a little bit. Could be embarrassing, enough to go, oh, and then I'm plastered all over social media and everyone's going to see this. And the reason that we do that is so that we try harder next time to reach those goals.
And let me give you guys
to hold ourselves in the whole integrity thing. I'm going to have integrity. Belladonna and I was doing an accountability, and I had gone in and had lash extensions put on, and and I was held accountable. And I was like, get up one morning and I'm washing my face and all of my lashes fall off. My own lashes went with them. So I had no eyelashes. My accountability was that if I didn't, I would go, I had to go live that day and do a live video. So here I am, no eyelashes, and I had to go live. So I'm like doing a reel, and I actively went, and I'm like, well, we'll just, draw attention to the fact that I'm here. I'm holding myself accountable, and I have no freaking eyelashes.
I remember that.
It's a woman's vanity, okay? It was a whole woman's vanity, but I held myself accountable because what I would have had to have done was a lot worse than just showing up on camera with no lashes. So, yeah, it's just a matter of, these are just things to push us that much further so that we get to the end goal, which is making our numbers, having a steady, consistent business. And the only way we can do that is to hold ourselves accountable.
So let me give you guys some other ideas, because right now you might be thinking, hell will freeze twice before I do any of that crazy stuff. Okay, so I'm giving you guys funny examples because I think it's hilarious, and that's just my sense of humor. It's what we used to do at my first real estate brokerage. I want to inspire my agents. And I think every time I blow it, I can also get massive social media exposure out of it. So like it's something, right? But let me tell you the kind of accountability I did for years that was incredibly effective. Okay. It was $20 a day for every, and here's what I was accountable to, guys. I had to be on the phone. Now, my accountability was for cold calling, okay? Yours can be for whatever, but I would recommend it has to be around a number of actual contacts you make a day. Because
but can you also include the fact, if you're going to have something, have it written down in the form of accountability. So it's not just here. You actually have to look at it, and somebody else gets to look at that as well. And that's your accountability partner. Someone that actually can read over what you've put down. Otherwise, no one knows.
Yeah.
And they can't hold you accountable if it's not, we're in the business of real estate. If it's not in writing, it's not enforceable, right?
And I have accountability contracts, guys. So you would trade contracts with somebody, and I'm really clear. I'm like, okay, accountability starts on this day, it ends on this day. It's Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. What's a reason for me to be let off of accountability? Maybe you don't give yourself a reason, or maybe you say, mine was, if I'm gushing blood or have a broken bone, I'm excluded. If somebody in my family is gushing blood or has a broken bone, I'm excluded. Other than that, I'm not excluded, right? That's mine. You can set yours up however you want. And then it says what you're going to do, and it says what your penalty is, and then you sign it and you give it to your accountability partner, and they do the same. Now, one of the most effective accountabilities I ever did, and it was actually it was one of my highest grossing years in real estate. I had an accountability partner named Deanna, who I love, and it was $20 a day. And here's what we were accountable to. We had to be on the phone by 9 a.m. sharp, 9:01. And every day we'd show up and we were in the same office. So we'd each slap our 20 on the counter, right? If you showed up at 9:01, she got to take my 20. Okay. And then we were accountable for a certain number of contacts per day. So every day, $20 was on the line. Guys, $20 was enough to get my tail to the office, on the phone, and making my contacts, right? And so you can do all types of things to hold yourself accountable. Now, for people for whom you're already doing really well, and maybe you need to, and maybe you want to do a money accountability, fine. Make it enough to hurt that you'll actually do what you say you're going to do. Don't make it so much that you actually hurt your own finances. What do I mean? People get like crazy around accountability sometimes. Now, I have personally had accountability contracts where we had $1,000 on the line. And George Morris. Oh, and John Syatt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the owners of my old office, right? We would do like hardcore, as managers, we would do this to each other. But I could afford to pay that. Okay. I don't want the accountability to be so extreme that you hurt yourself if it invokes. Does that make sense, guys? So if you're going to do something funny, like I'm going to do, great. But make it something that you're willing to do. Okay. And if it's a monetary accountability, make it sting, but not actually hurt you or your family's finances. Does that, everybody good on that? Everybody? So we've got just like 5 minutes, and then I know Martin has some stuff to talk to you guys about. So let's open it up for Q&A. Questions. What do you guys think? Is anybody willing to do this? And we have a perfect opportunity, guys. If anybody wants or needs an accountability partner, you could partner up with somebody on this call. Your accountability partner could be they could be an agent in your office. They could be somebody in your town, or they could be in another country. It doesn't matter, as long as you guys are reporting into each other every single day. Okay. And you're checking in. So you could literally team up with somebody on this call for an accountability partner if you want one. So what questions can we answer for everybody?
Well, and not only that, but if you don't have an accountability contract, we can share that with everyone as well.
Oh, we will, Martin. I'll shoot one over to you. And so, okay. So
has anyone ever, done something like this? Have they ever, if you're new or you've been in the business long enough, I mean, have you had an accountability partner before? Did you find any success with it? I would love to hear this.
We did this with reels and creating reels. One a day, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. And Tony, what was it like? Did you could just talk to him? Because I did a small accountability group and Tony was in it.
Yeah. It was a struggle to come up with something every day to put in a reel. And we did miss a few days here and there, but it wasn't so bad that, like you said, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. Nobody got,
unless you got belladonna after you, and then it was a whole different story.
And did I warn it? I warned everybody thoroughly, though, didn't I? That I don't let you off. If you do an accountability contract with me, I will so hold your feet to the fire. I don't care what you can whine, you could cry, but that's why you pick me for an accountability partner, right?
You're right.
And
well,
so,
I remember Shay holding you accountable live as you wrote a $100 check, and he's putting it on his social media going, well, she didn't make, you know, whatever your guys' accountability was at
It
that
was my
point.
calls. I missed my calls that week and I had to write him $100 check. And he took the
I
check
remember that.
and remember, Tony? Yes.
And
Yeah,
it was
I remember
on
that.
live, and here we were in the middle of our sales training meeting, and Shay comes up with his camera on, and he's live going, well, you know, she didn't make her goals and she didn't do it, and look at this. And he's like, puts it right on there. And she's like, I can't believe you did that live.
I know.
And she's giving him the check.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just to help push the other person so that they get their goals, you know, so that they reach, you know, they reach the things that they want out of their business. I think more people should be doing accountability, because it keeps you thinking, this is what I want out of my business. And no better time than now, because this is the time of year where everyone kind of takes their foot off the accelerator, because we have lots of holidays. When now is the time, I can honestly say in my own personal business, November, December, and January are the 3 busiest months of the years for me, because I don't take my foot off the accelerator. Because those that are taking their foot off, I'm putting mine on, going, we're going all out, because I have less competition. I have less competition out there because everyone's taking the day off, or the week, or the entire month. You know, they're not working during the holidays.
Oh, come on. The average agent at Halloween, they have checked out for the rest of the year. They're like, well, Thanksgiving's coming. Nobody's going to want to list. And then it's Christmas. And then people are going to want to wait to the new year. We tell ourselves all these stories, these rationalizations for why we don't need to make our calls. But last time I checked, if we had a W-2 job, even in the fourth quarter, you have to show up to work. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it's interesting because most those that live in my household are W-2 employees, and they'll get, you know, Christmas Day off, and there's a good chance that they'll get New Year's off, and they'll get Thanksgiving off, and they might get the day after Thanksgiving. But the rest of the time, they're expected to show up unless they have paid time off. And last I checked, if you're a 1099 CEO, which is what we all are as real estate professionals, I don't get paid time off. You get paid time off? Nobody pays me to sit home and watch TV or go out, you know, go on a bit. No one's paying me to do that. Because if they would pay me to do that, I might do it more. Probably not, but I, you know, everyone gets the idea. It's just one of those things. I think we need to stay with the mindset of, we are in control of our business. We are the owners of our business. Therefore, if we're not working and we're not pushing ourselves to hold ourselves to the fire and make the things, you know, work in order to make that revenue, if we're not doing that, then the only person that we can be upset with is ourselves. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to tell my family at the end of the day, sorry, you know, there's no extracurricular recreational activities this year because I didn't make my calls.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, when you have to look at those that you're doing this for and say, sorry, we can't do that because I chose not to make my calls. I chose not to go out there and put myself out there to make it happen. So maybe take a different perspective of your accountability, going, okay, yeah, if I have to tell those that I love at the end of the day that, you know, sorry, we don't get to do that because I chose not to make my calls. Maybe we'll make our calls a little more often, and maybe on a daily basis, if those are the ones that we have to look at the end of the day and go, yep, I sucked at my business today, and I didn't do what I needed to do, and sorry, but there won't be any food on the table at the end of 90 days because I don't have anything closing. So it's just something to think about.
And then guys, for anybody who's interested, my accountability contract is very simple. And Martin, if you like, I'll go ahead and drop a link to a Google Doc, you guys. I'm going to drop it in the chat if anybody wants it. Let me just make sure it's shareable. And it is. So there it is. Very simple link to my accountability contract is in the chat. And then I know, Martin, you've got stuff you'd like to make sure and cover. And if you guys, I would love to hear your feedback. Is this something that's interesting, useful, helpful? Anybody who plans on giving it a shot, let us know.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for that. And guys, so really all I wanted to kind of talk about is we have, if you're not already a part of our community, please go ahead and join. We offer a 7-day free trial where you can get expired listings and for sale by owners, leads coming into your business. And we provide that for you for free for 7 days. So if you can grab a free trial, I will post a link in the chat right now where you guys can grab one of those if you want it. The other thing as well is if you guys want our scripts as well, you can actually grab those scripts just by filling in this quick form right here. We'll send out the scripts out to you guys as well. So yeah, that's all from me, guys. But again, tune in next week as well. We've got a few more minutes here, so we can finish off by whatever you guys want to talk about, and if you have any questions as well.
Yeah, I would love to be able to answer anything while we're here on the call. If anyone has anything that they're struggling with, I mean, we're here. Let's, throw it out there.
So one thing I'm curious, is anybody going to give accountability a shot where you guys you're crazy? I'm not doing that. And then if you are, just put the number 1 in the chat. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, guys, is, sorry, did I cut someone off? Did someone want to say something? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'll do it. Accountability really helped me put out those reels, those Instagram reels that we did. So, and I was working at it. So,
and
totally.
hey,
I'd be willing to be an accountability partner.
Awesome. And hey, just for everyone still here, one other thing I wanted to say was, what more we've been doing this training every week for the last 5 weeks. So this is the 5th session. So we're sort of learning and growing it as we go. And we want it to be as valuable as possible to our community. So if anybody has any thoughts, like what were you expecting today? Did it, what do you want to see in future? We'll try and cater and we want to make this as valuable as possible for you guys. So by all means, put in the chat, what your thoughts are, what you might like to see training on in future as well. Cool. Love that cigar.
Yeah. He just looks so cool.
I love it.
He just looks so, dude, you need to do a Instagram video of you smoking that cigar and giving a few real estate tips. And then put that out there because it looks cool.
Yeah. I might do that. I might do that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then last quick question I have for anybody is
I'm just opening up gallery view.
Oh no, that's cool. Was this helpful today? Did this give you some ideas like, hey, this can help me build my business, right? And so you might be brand new to the idea of accountability. Anybody that's ever done professional sports probably knows a thing or two about accountability too, right? Like not even professional, like high school sports, college sports. What happens when you don't show up to practice? I don't know about you guys, but if I skipped showing up to practice, I couldn't. Like if I skipped track practice or I skipped swim practice, I couldn't be in the meet. Like when you go to race, they wouldn't let you race. They were like, that's what you get for not showing up on Thursday, sucker. So Chris had a question. Are there text scripts? Oh, we have such good scripts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we got great scripts for FSBOs, expireds. I don't know if we have any door knockers in here, but this is a door knocking script that is effortlessly changed to a phone script if you like. That you will use to call around recently sold properties, and you do not have to have been the listing agent. So the way you would use this script is you pick a location where you would like to have more listings. Find some really good solds. And what's a good sold? A property that sold quickly for full price or above full price, ideally. And then you're going to call the other homeowners around that listing. I have a phenomenal script for that particular call, and you can either call or door knock it. Makes no difference, right? So we've got some great FSBO expired scripts. And then for everybody that's on this call today, we kind of try to rotate through what we teach, right? Next Wednesday, Tamara, why don't we do expired scripts? Because we've done a lot of FSBO scripts up until now. Why don't we do expired scripts next Wednesday, this upcoming?
Because those are starting to get, more
Big.
volume.
And we'll role play it too.
Expired. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And along with some objection handlers.
Cool. And sorry to interrupt you there, Chris. And if you go in your Real Connect system, if you're one of our customers, if you go to templates, there is a section in Real Connect where you can go to templates, and we have a ton of text messaging scripts saved as templates in the system. So you could have a look at some of those as well, if you need to too.
And then really quick, guys, I haven't talked about this, but I just dropped a link for everybody. Tamara and I also do a webinar. It's called the AI Listing Agent. As you can see in the neon sign that's right over my head in my office, right? So I would highly encourage everybody on this call, click that link, register for it's a free webinar. Guys, we keep trying to make it shorter, but we cannot seem to do it in less than an hour and a half to 2 hours, especially with Q&A at the end, okay? But here's what we're going to do. In that time, we're going to share with you some extraordinarily powerful and effective and free AI platforms that every single agent must be using right now. We're going to show you what the platforms are, how to use them, what to do, so that by the time you get off that webinar, you have the information you need to literally go start executing and start leveraging AI to get more listings. And so if that sounds interesting to you, click that link, register. Our next one is going to be on November 30th. So there's plenty of time. Register, put it in your calendar, and we're happy to help you with that as well, because that is Tamara and I's other specialty, and that is staying right on top of current technology trends, and then helping agents, one, understand what's effective to get more listings, what you don't need to bother with, and then making it as simple and easy to execute as humanly possible for you, right? We cut through all the jargon and we just break it down for you nice and easy. So please, if you have an interest in using AI to land more listings, sign up for the webinar. It's a ton of fun. And other than that, I think we're good.
Can I give you a testimonial?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm in this AI class or through the webinar, and it is amazing. It really does cut the amount of time you spend working on social media, trying to keep in contact with Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and all of that. And it is amazing. It's a game changer. If you have the ability to get into that class or do that webinar, do it, because it will change your business.
Thank Thank you, Tony.
Well,
And
thank you.
We did not pay Tony to show up today, people. Okay.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody joining the call today. And wow, we finished on time. Belladonna. Well done.
I'm getting the hang of it, dude. It only takes me like 5 weeks to figure it out. Just saying.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. That link to grab those scripts is in the chat below. Sorry about that. That's the live chat support. I need to just mute real quick. Yeah, and we'll see you guys all next week. Bella and Tamara, if you guys want to hang out, you had some things you wanted to discuss. We can continue that now. But thank you everybody for joining.
That'd be great.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.